crimes that are one-offs. But if you look at crime as a whole, it's down 30%.
Chief of Public Safety for Downtown Dallas, Inc., Larry Gordon, says despite recent events, numbers show crime is actually tracking down in the Central Business District, where he says there are 100 Dallas police officers on patrol. That includes a nighttime task force that launched in November, and one in the daytime rolling out May 1st. Still, those who live and work here say they're torn between drastic decisions.
At this point, I'm thinking, should I consider moving from downtown?
And a desire to see more done.
I would love to see a greater police presence downtown and for them to be more active in preventing the kind of things that have happened over the last several weeks versus reacting to what has happened.
In Dallas, Alex Spilliards, NBC5.
Any thoughts on that clip?
Yeah, I think that's just part of big city living, man. You know, that's why I live on the outskirts. I live, I'm damn near like an hour, like 45 minutes from Dallas. So I'm in the outskirts, man. I don't think I ever want to live in a big city again, man. It's not because I'm pussy or anything. It's just, I don't want to be around all that too much.
So he brushed her car. She brushed his car, basically.
Correct. That's what we're being told so far. He
touched
the car, and he went crazy.
Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Now,
Let's find out what happens. John, I have a good tie-in between those two stories. I don't know if you're ready for it now.
Yeah. I've been down in the Deep Ellum area. Is that where she was killed? It always seemed just, maybe it's changed quite a bit, but it was just kind of fake to me. You know what I mean? It's like, they were shooting for something and it just didn't hit for me. Go ahead.
So this happened in Dallas. Obviously, we've had a lot of focus on Dallas with the recent killing that took place down there. And people have been paying attention, and there was an interesting connection made. Between this murder and the murder that involved Carmelo Anthony.
I see where you're going, Universal. I see where you're going. Go ahead, sir.
Now, is this self-defense? I don't know, but a very interesting thing happened. So here it says, this is the sad state of Black America, FBAs. During the manhunt, because Kendrick Finch was on the run, during the manhunt accusing the vicious murder of Ashley Long in Dallas, his mother was concerned about freeing Carmelo Anthony. So they've been able to tie this, the new murderer who killed the white woman, to the Carmelo situation. And here's his mother, posting on Facebook, free Carmelo. Meanwhile, her son had convicted of murder within the same week.
Can you zoom in on that? Can you zoom in?
Yeah. I'm always looking at the when they choose to pick pictures, I'm always kind of looking into the pictures a little bit more. And if you notice, he has a bathing ape shirt on.
Yes.
So he's already, kind of comparing himself into a wild animal. And it's kind of interesting. And obviously you see this white woman, innocent, as most white women are, looking just as innocent as a dove. But him, he's got a bathing ape shirt on.
The Kim and K didn't know they were not a couple. Her and her boyfriend or husband or whatever were coming out of a club. I guess they brushed his car. I'm not sure if it was by mistake or what. And he came out gun blazing. I think the husband returned fire. He shot both of their ass.
Yeah.
Husband and the woman and killed them.
It's Texas, so if you're gonna pull your weapon, please be prepared that somebody's gonna pull theirs as well.
So I'm imagining that if the blacks think Carmelo Anthony committed self-defense, then
this
man committed self-defense.
So
I mean, if somebody touches your car, that's basically touching an extension of your body. So it's I guess that's self-defense too. He had to protect himself and his car. So
this will be the new question from here on out. You know, is this when we have these incidents, especially when it's black on white, is it self-defense or not?
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourselves. John, I don't know if you realize, but you're on mute if you're talking. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not saying anything. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Cynthia Finch, who's the mother of Kendrick Finch, you know, she put out on April 8th to free Carmelo Anthony, and now her son may have the same fate as this young man, as he has now been convicted of killing Ashley Long, 28 years old.
Wait a minute, he was convicted already? Oh,
No. He may have the same fate. He's been arrested. They found him.
Well, they found him. Okay.
But he has not been convicted. No.
Wow. Do they have a fundraiser up for him?
That I will find out shortly. I will. There may be free Kendrick is what I'm going to search on X, and we'll see what we can find.
Wow.
There we have it, folks. There we have it.
Wow. It's unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. You know, I think as a black man in America, one thing you really don't want to do is kill a white woman, whether on purpose or accident. It's yeah, it's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Hey, good morning, Portia. But yeah. I mean, but you know, maybe in the conscious of the black man, he does kind of think that anything white skinned is a danger to his health. So maybe he just chimped out, lost control, and
the blacks may start using this shit as a defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so triggered by white people. I fuck around and shit. I panicked and shot him. I think there is a defense like that, right? You know, you had so much trauma in your life, like PTSD.
Yeah, I think it's called the Harambe defense. I think it's the Harambe defense.
So one, I've been considered a trauma expert, and I've done a few court cases like this for defendants. Sometimes, depending on the lawyer, they will utilize like historical trauma or just really what I focus on is the background of the individual to help make their case. But as a expert in the court, I have to be objective. I can't lean one way or the other. I just have to state the facts and how it may or may not contribute. But a lot of times it doesn't stick, even though it's utilized a lot, it doesn't stick based on like prior record, prior interventions, treatments, things of that nature that these folks have gone through. So it is an interesting dynamic. And it's a good way to get paid, by the way, as well.
Everybody getting paid.
Hey, man, you got to eat off the carcass, man. Look, I ain't pulled the trigger. But yeah. So this went down back on April 5th. And, you know, they just caught up to the man and arrested him on April 18th. So he was on a good run. He was on a good 13-day, almost 2-week run before they caught up with him. Mr. Finch, his bond has been set at $500,000. And he'll be awaiting his fate here pretty soon. So we'll see what happens.
Wait a minute, his bond was higher than Carmelo's.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting because there was a weapon involved. You know, he probably has more plausible claim of self-defense than Carmelo.
Yeah, especially if they got out of the car.
He got out the car.
Yeah, he got out the car, but I think they got out the car too, right?
Yeah, it was my take. They were walking.
They
brushed his car.
Oh yeah, man.
So here it is. Finch was allegedly in a white 4-door Mercedes that was traveling west on Main Street. Surveillance video reviewed by police shows that the man who was with Long brushed his hand alongside of the passing Mercedes. A passenger in the vehicle, believed to be Finch, got out of the car with the gun in hand. The man who was with Long then reached into her purse and pulled out a gun. He pulled her blicky out. It's like, hold my strap. Finch then allegedly opened fire, hitting Long. The other man appeared to return fire, according to the affidavit. The passenger then got back into the Mercedes and drove away from the scene. Long was taken to the hospital, where she later was pronounced dead. The man she was with was also injured.
Man, that's another reason why, like, taking your lady out to the club scene, I think it's just a bad date. Like, I'm not taking my girl out to the club, man. We could go to a little bar, we can go out to eat, but going to the clubs, that's just not a good date, in my opinion. You go to the clubs with like your friends and stuff.
Right. Right.
You don't take your lady out in the middle of all that danger, because shit could just pop off at any moment like that.
Yep.
Man.
It is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, Phoenix Fish, that is a terrible date, man. Anytime
So
your
was that
girl
his
dies, that's a bad date.
whose car was touched? Was it his car?
It was his car. So Finch was in the white Mercedes. It says it keeps saying passenger, so I don't know if he was driving or not. But
Well,
I'm assuming he was.
I'm thinking he probably was like parked on the street and they were walking. So they probably walked past, and she, white girl wasted, brushed his truck, or brushed his Mercedes on the side, on the passenger side, while it was parked on the side of the street, and he got out, guns blazing.
Damn, that is amazing. Mm.
Yeah, this is interesting. So Finch got out the car with the gun present. The man then seen Finch had the gun, reached into the girl's purse, pulled out his gun, and then Finch opened fire.
Yeah.
And then, damn.
Yeah, when somebody got the drop on you too, you just gotta run. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I'm not somebody pull it, they pull it before me, I'm getting up out of there, man. I'm zigzagging, you know.
Yeah, you kind of have to at that point. Live with your life. Like
Yeah, that's just
once they up it on you, you better get little as possible. Quick.
right.
Jeez.
It damn near sound like he used this girl as a shield, man. That's what it sound like. God damn.
Wow. So yeah, they got him. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out with both of these situations happening in relatively the same location. He might actually have more calls for self-defense than Carmelo does at the way that this is sounding. I don't know.
Nah, I don't think so, man. I'm sorry, but you can't. Carmelo, he could at least play that because it's another man, but you can't. I don't think you can convince a jury anywhere that a white woman is really a threat to your life.
I see.
Yeah.
What about the boyfriend? You think he has cause?
Well,
I mean,
he pulled it out after the fact, though.
correct. Well, I guess that kind of nips this in the bud then.
Yeah, nah. He's honestly, this guy is just a cold-blooded murderer, man.
Yeah,
Like, seriously,
that's cold-blooded, bro.
that's
real
cold.
cold-blooded.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. The smallest interaction with these people, man, could really go left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if she even scratched this car.
Right.
I doubt she put a dent in there, but let's just say I doubt she even scratched it, bro.
Oh, hell no. He was in a Mercedes, man. You gotta damn near take a sledgehammer to a Mercedes. She probably just lost her balance.
It wasn't even her. It was the guy. The guy brushed the car. Surveillance video reviewed by police shows the man who was with Long brushing his hand alongside the passing Mercedes. So the man touched it.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeesh. Amazing.
Don't touch a black man's white Mercedes, man. That's
or you'll lose your white woman.
Yeah. My mama told me that early. So you see a black man in a white Mercedes, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Man, good Lord. All right. So Dallas is, having all types of stuff going on. And since we're talking about women and women doing what women do, being good, good what do they call it? Helpmates? Good helpmates of men.
Help me.
Compliments. But this was an interesting thing. I don't know if you gentlemen seen this, where this woman decided to share, how she gets her and her husband get down. I'll say it that way. Here's the clip.
Shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed. And I realized.
Say it one more time.
Oh, can you maximize it a little bit?
Oh yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see. I do it this way.
Yeah, you guys make sure you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and always, if you want to help support this channel and this show, hit the Cash App. They're scrolling at the bottom. And also, we do have the live call-in numbers. So if you guys want to call in, join the conversation, the phone number is posted at the bottom. Go ahead, Jones.
Absolutely. So here we're going to see a clip from the pastor's wife. Kelly Steele says that she was graced by God to iron her husband's clothes for his side chick.
I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me, I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you. Right. I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized,
Wow. Jones, would you consider this a pick-me?
Something like that. I think this is insane. Yeah, yes. She would definitely be considered a pick-me according to how they're defined online. Absolutely.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest this for my daughter. Yeah, he leaving the whole weekend to be with a side chick. I don't know. I don't know. At least he was honest about it. John, what do you think about this lady?
Yeah, I think she definitely has some little self-esteem. If he's telling her he marrying her, and she just
your audio is breaking up a bit, John.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how she stuck through him telling her all those things. You know what I'm saying? Like telling her he don't like her, he hate her. She stuck through that. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. That's some really low self-esteem. Like, you know, telling a woman that type of stuff about herself. I don't know. That's pretty low down.
Yeah, this is messed up, man. But I don't like the thing that bothered me about this clip is how she's folding in her calling to God to withstand and deal with this stuff. It's very interesting how we will utilize faith to kind of shield some foolishness like this. Like, this is insane. But I mean, if that's how they rock it, if they have some sort of open marriage, I mean, shit, it is what it is, I guess. But this is fascinating. I really want to know what the women in the chat think about this. Is this good? Is this healthy?
Yeah.
This is what we should focus on in 2025 and beyond when it comes to relationships.
And you know, I don't subscribe to having side chicks, but one thing that I will say about side chicks is you never treat the side chick better than the main chick. That's just bad karma to me, honestly.
What if the wife's treating the side chick better than she's being treated?
Yeah, no, that's why this whole thing is just confusing, honestly. Like, you might as well make the wife the side chick if this is how you're gonna go about it.
Sheesh.
She getting him ready for his side chick. You know, she's doing a good work by the side chick.
Yeah, apparently serving them up on a platter. I don't know. Maybe this is what doing the Lord's work means moving forward.
Could she get better though? Like, could she have found someone better than this preacher? He probably doing well for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good point.
She probably wasn't going to find many better men out there for her.
Good point. Maybe she's reached a level where she's like, I'm gonna just, withstand whatever takes place because this position's good enough for me. And if he's gonna do what he's got to do, then I'm just gonna keep pushing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's some pookies out there that would treat her a lot better. Honestly.
Where Raymond at?
Yeah, some Tyrones. Tyrone wouldn't be treating her like this.
Oh, no, Tyrone. No, Tyrone get her living room set,
Yeah, nah.
And she ain't gonna wash Tyrone's clothes and clean them up the way she would do this man,
That's true too.
She's happy with their relationship. I mean, she out here telling it. Like, damn, that's such low self-esteem to even tell someone that shit. He told you, he hated you, god damn.
Yeah. Portia, I think, has this question for us. Do we think that this is healthy?
Absolutely not. Nah. I don't think it's healthy on any, like, even if you got a side chick, you don't treat your side chick better than the main chick. So that part is unhealthy. But also how this woman is trying to justify it, I think that's even more sick. So
Yeah.
this is unhealthy this is like the definition of a toxic relationship right here.
Yeah. Toxic positivity
Yeah,
in a relationship, pretty
I wonder
much.
if they have any children.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I can find the clip. Yeah, I think this is a slap in the face of what the union's supposed to be under God. First of all, so I don't think it's healthy that way. But also, this is just going to lead to issues, man. And to publicize this just makes it even worse. I don't know why you would hop on a podcast telling this level of your business. It's kind of ridiculous.
And you see what Kimmy said too. That also is really one of the biggest issues right now that I see in the Black culture. Is even your preachers are living this type of lifestyle. So there's no leadership at damn near any of the leaders. They're not even righteous leaders. Like, how you gonna listen to this man talk about, Paul or Job or Genesis, and he got a side chick? Like, bro, I'm not trying to hear you talk about nothing got to do with the book, man. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think again, I can connect this back to the Carmelo Anthony dynamic and just how people have responded. We'll flex and bend stupidity, and we'll flex and bend the wrong action to fit a narrative to make us feel good. And I think we do that with the church all the time. As a man of God, I would never have a side chick like this. Shake my head. If you're going to do it all, if you're going to do all that, then you and your wife have to marry her also and bring her into the family right away, right? I mean,
polygamy there.
polygamy. I mean,
Yeah, I honestly, I do agree with that. I think if you're gonna do something like that, it has to be, you guys got to all be one. Like there are men in the Bible who did have multiple wives. So if that's the route you're gonna go, then do that. But don't be a hypocrite. Because if she had a side dude, I don't think he would be that happy. Or maybe he would. Maybe you're a freak.
Yeah, who says she doesn't? We don't know if she don't. Sheesh. Interesting times. So we'll have to see what kind of feedback. That clip was pretty fresh, so it hasn't hit the cycle just yet, but we'll see what kind of feedback that gets. I'm pretty sure that's going to go viral here. All right, what else did I have on the docket for today? Oh man. Yeah, we'll go here. So since we're on this, since we're talking about side chicks, let me go to this one. Forgot about this clip here. So if your marriage isn't healthy, and you'd have side chick dynamics go on, and you have an unfortunate situation happen. For folks who are in the community and the know, that a person that many of us know, her husband tragically died a few days ago. Death does happen. And there's a situation that I want to share with you all now, where a husband died and his side chick pulled up to the crib to retrieve the items that she bought him. Here's the clip.
Wait, Universal, can you pull this comment down first?
Oh yeah, let me see.
There we go.
So we had again, this clip here is the side chick shows up to the wife's house to take back all her gifts she bought him after he passed away.
Yeah, I was really worried about punching your shit. You better be worried about it, because bitch, I'm not the one. I'm really about ready to punch you in your shit. You first and foremost, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. Don't come to my motherfucking house about nothing. Well, you want something from Larry? Steal him more than where the fuck he is. Don't come to my house. I don't give a fuck what you're here for. Get the fuck away from me. Do you advise? Come. Call him now. This what you do, baby. I'm making buy you. Get the fuck on. Get off my motherfucking house. Don't go. Let me see you ain't got some shit out there. Get away from my house. You don't see shit here. You don't see ATV. Get away from my house. Get away from my house. What was that? Ma'am, she screwed my husband and she was buying
look at
gifts.
the
Now she's
baby.
looking for shit. He is dead. He is not here. I don't have it. Please leave my home. Get away from my home. Get away from my home. Now I'm about to take. Get away from my home. Get away from my home, bitch. Don't ever come here again. Shit.
Yo, babies are so stupid. They always walk right to the danger, man. Babies are idiots, man.
Now, this clip had a lot of different dynamics if you're paying attention. It's unfortunate that this lady pulled up to her side dude's crib that he's died. We're trying to retrieve items. That's crazy. But the baby is also funny. But did you notice the young woman who came up? First, I thought it was a boy. She was pretty stocky for a love.
Yeah. She was ready to. She was ready to let them hands fly, man.
Yeah. She was about it. Now, question for you two gentlemen: that baby, whose baby is that? Do you think it's the daughter's or the mama's? Whose little baby is that?
It really ain't no telling.
Yeah, it's no. That might have just been a random baby, man. I don't even know.
It's somebody else's baby.
Just there. I don't know. That'd be a latchkey baby. I have no clue, man.
Well, the way the baby was moving, it probably came in the house by itself.
I don't even know how that baby opened the door. How the baby even? Baby just opened the door.
Little man was moving and grooving. Well, what do y'all think about this? The side chick pulling up to the main chick's house to retrieve items. That's pretty bold, man.
I can't even imagine what it was, bro. Probably wasn't worth shit. Some clothes or something.
Like, what could it be? What could it
be? Some clothes. Some.
Man.
Yeah, that's just a messy ass woman, man. There's nothing that you need of a dead man. That's that important. Honestly, she just trying to be seen or something. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird.
Mm. Yeah, it's a lot going on. So, healthy relationships are important. We do talk about relationships here in the show quite often. I figured we'll show a few things, but I wanted to introduce something new to the show today in hopes that we could do this, pretty much every show where we spotlight a city. We spotlight a city and we talk about the dynamics that are happening in the city. And for today's episode, I gathered a few clips from the great city of Milwaukee. Have either of you gentlemen been to Milwaukee before?
Oh yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've been to Milwaukee. It's the blackest city in Wisconsin by far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the blackest city in Wisconsin, only second to Racine, Wisconsin. And then shortly after that, I believe Madison might have the next largest black population. But there's been a lot happening in Milwaukee over the last couple of weeks, last couple of days. So the first story I'm going to show you is of unfortunately a man who's got his life taken away. But one of the things that I would like to highlight here on the morning roast, because oftentimes we talk about these issues and situations that are happening in the black community, and we're told, well, it's not all black people, and these are isolated incidents. And I'm going to start highlighting how no matter what city you pick, we can just pick them at random. You're going to see a pattern. And it's not just the news. It's not just the news picking these things out. A lot of it has to do with the cultural dynamics that are going on. So this next clip that I'm going to show is of an individual who unfortunately lost his life a few days ago in the city of Milwaukee, not Minneapolis, Milwaukee. Pay particular attention to some of the things that are happening in the club.
Outside Gold Diggers Gentlemen's Club in Milwaukee, a community remembers.
He was a very loving, caring person. He loved his family. He loved his children.
7 children now without a father after families say 37-year-old Maurice Williams was shot and killed while working as a security guard at the club.
My daddy be good to us and nice to us.
Candles and photos lay outside the same club Williams worked at for 6 years.
My son died doing what he loved, and he died protecting
Way love. Candles outside of Gold Diggers now, remembering Big Herc, a nickname many family and
I'm
friends.
like the music.
Big, giant, but gentle. As a
Big Hurt.
Gentle giant, that's what you can call it.
Williams, a coach for the CLE Panthers, a Milwaukee youth football program, a mentor both on and off the field.
The way he smiled, the way he laughed, his little jokes, his little comments, it always affects everybody in a positive way.
The vigil for Williams Saturday spilling into the street as dozens reflected on the positive way he too affected their lives.
I love that man. He loved me. He loved his children. He loved his wife. He loved his home.
Is that a tat on her neck?
His family. He was
No, I think that's
very
just
lovable
dirt,
person.
John.
A lovable person.
Yeah, that's high mileage oil on her neck. That's Kimmy said is eczema.
He was just a very lovable person.
A lovable person now looking down on the people he loved most. In Milwaukee,
Love Big Hurt.
TJ Dysart, WSN
Absolutely.
News.
The Milwaukee
gotta
police say
have a balloon release. You gotta have a balloon release.
the shooting also left a second 37-year-old dead along with a 34-year-old injured.
Damn.
We're still working to learn more about who those other victims are.
Yeah, Universal. One thing that it always amazes me that to get black people to come together, all it takes is one dead nigga, man. Black people will come together. They will figure it out when it's a dead nigga. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe
He protected what he loves too.
Gold Diggers
City boy.
nightclub, City Bar. Yeah. Gold Diggers. Nigga died in front of Gold
That would
Diggers.
need
Man.
grave diggers.
Yeah, go from Gold Diggers to Grave Diggers. Oh. Jesus. Man.
A lot of women out there too, boy. A lot of women. Damn.
Yeah. Probably should have had probably should have had his vest on, but knowing Milwaukee, it was probably a headshot, unfortunately. Niggas got good aim out there, so yeah. RIP to him, man. RIP. Universal, what'd you think about that? That story.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was on mute the whole time. I think it's tragic. He's a father. Obviously he was trying to be positive in the community. He's coaching football, doing what he needed to do. It's unfortunate he lost his life, and it's unfortunate those other people got shot as well. But again, these things happen every weekend in most urban settings where you have people.
What do you think the shooting was over?
I don't know. I was trying to find some more information on that. I couldn't really stumble across anything. I mean, it could have been anything. He could have been a bystander with the other two people. I mean, who knows? And
More than likely, he had somebody leave the club.
Minimum, though. Probably wasn't anything significant.
More than likely, he had somebody leave the club. They came back, shot the motherfucker up. That's how it happens a lot of times, right?
Yep.
And you ask them to leave somewhere like Carmelo.
Yep.
They're gonna go to the weapon on your ass.
I believe we put that in the Negro Commandments that one day, John. Actually, if you are asked to leave, I'm pretty sure I captured that. Let me find it. Oh man, I need to find it and post it. But yeah, if a Negro is asked to leave an establishment, you too should leave immediately. Because the probability of danger coming is pretty high.
Drug abuse. Drug abuse, huh?
Drug abuse. All right. So since we're equal opportunists here, I'm going to share another story out of Wisconsin. This one is not about a black person, but it is about an interesting dynamic that has taken place. So let me pull it up. Here it is. So here is this case, and I'd love to get your feedback on this one.
The first time we're hearing from one of the accusers of the center of the sex slave investigation.
It led to an unusual court hearing today. Austin Chronister is charged with human trafficking and sexual assault. Hannah Hilliard is outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse for us tonight.
And Hannah Chronister wanted the court to loosen his bond restrictions.
Oh, right, Deanna and Derek. It's a high-stakes case involving multiple Milwaukee professionals. Police and prosecutors say those involved were a part of a non-traditional sexual relationship, but things unraveled when things turned violent. The man at the center of this case right now, he is free on bond, but under a court order curfew. It's just one of the items his attorney was trying to fight here earlier today. What was scheduled as an ordinary hearing Friday for Austin Chronister. We're in court today for a bail bond hearing. Turned into one with testimony from his girlfriend and one of his accusers.
I have known Mr. Chronister and Miss St. Pierre for some time.
We are not showing the woman identified by police as a sex assault victim, but she's one of two prosecutors say Chronister violently assaulted inside his historic Concordia neighborhood home on the west side. The women told police the Milwaukee real estate agent and private investigator made them sign contracts requiring obedience and sex upon demand. They say house members were also all assigned slave numbers and had to wear collars as part of an untraditional sex arrangement involving bondage and domination.
I think given the violence against women that are within the home already, it would be a concern to have any contact with any witness in this case.
Right now, Chronister must remain at home all the time and cannot contact his longtime girlfriend, Kristen St. Pierre, a Milwaukee criminal defense attorney who's previously declined comment.
I'm not interested in answering questions. Thank you, though.
But in Judge Jeffrey Wagner's courtroom Friday,
where's the evidence that he's intimidated her? It doesn't exist, and she's here today if the court needs to hear directly from her.
She testified.
Did you request a no contact order in this matter?
I did not.
Do you wish to have contact with Mr. Chronister?
I do.
Do you fear Mr. Chronister?
I do not.
Has he ever tried to intimidate you?
No.
The former housemate, however, urging the court.
I watched with my own two eyes that they created a story that was false.
To keep Chronister's curfew intact and keep the two apart.
I know that this is part of the judicial process, but it breaks my heart that there's a possibility that they could talk again. And additionally, the only reason that I'm really able to sleep at night is knowing that he has to stay in one place and he cannot leave.
You can hear the emotion there, Hannah. Judge Wagner ultimately sided with the district attorney and the victim.
All right, Deanna. So Chronister's bond restrictions will remain the same. He cannot have contact with Kristen St. Pierre, and he is only allowed to leave his home when he has any sort of legal matters taking place. It was also mentioned in court today that the prosecution's case against Chronister could soon expand. We should know more about that in the coming weeks.
All right, Hannah Hilliard reporting live for us in Milwaukee. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they said bondage, whips and chains and collars and all types of freaky shit. Yeah, that usually goes wrong, man. Once you start introducing collars and slave numbers, yeah, you might want to get up out of there. I don't
Even had a contract for the shit.
Yeah. I don't know. This does seem pretty I don't know. It's like he almost thought of everything through before he went with it. It might have just been some buyer's remorse, getting called out of your name over and over, getting treated like a slave. It might have been cool at first, but probably weighed on her soul a little bit. So, yeah. Universal, you into this type of stuff, Universal?
Nah, I ain't signing no contracts. I ain't getting chained up, whipped, none of that. No. Oh, absolutely not. But I will. One thing I found interesting about this story was this shit was happening just in a residential neighborhood. Like, you don't know what the fuck goes on next door to you. You know what I mean? Like this house. This looks very familiar to a lot of Midwest areas, like these older homes.
That's a nice house.
Yeah, that's a very nice house. I'm pretty sure it's expensive too. it looks like it's at least 3 stories and probably has a basement as well, given that it's in Wisconsin. And this whole sex slave operation just happening in the crib. You don't have a clue. You don't have any clue.
Yeah, if I was those neighbors, I would probably be angry. If this was my neighbor, I probably would have asked them, why didn't you guys invite me over? I would be very disappointed. Where these sex slaves at? Where they at?
You did offer me in it.
Yeah, right. I'm telling. I saw them bringing in all types of chains and collars from Home Depot. These niggas is crazy.
Yeah, you see boxes just showing up every day. It's all types of stuff happening. Yeah, this was a wild story, man. Like, there's all different types of stuff happening in and out. Another thing that came about from Wisconsin that kind of caught my eye is that they have this running Wisconsin's Most Wanted series on one of their news channels, their Fox channel, where they're following these long lines of criminal activity with people that they've covered over time. And I remember I seen this story on Ock Nation like 2 years ago. This dude, he was like the most dangerous criminal in Wisconsin. He was like 15 at the time, 15, 16. So when I went back and I was looking at some Wisconsin clips, I seen a face that, that I recognized. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. And they actually are doing a follow-up on this kid. He's no longer a kid, though. He's no longer a kid now. And they still have not caught him. So it's been about 3 years or more of him out here doing a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm going to show you all Wisconsin's current most wanted, Jeremiah Taylor.
A shooting on Christmas Day took the lives of 2 teens.
Police made 1 arrest, but say the shooter is still on the run. Fox's Ashley Sears has more of the help investigators say he's getting while he hides out.
There might not be a better gift for 2 families.
She kissed me. She said, Mama, I'll be back.
Than the arrest of a fugitive they say caused them so much pain.
And she never came back.
During a season meant to bring loved ones together, U.S. Marshals say 18-year-old Jeremiah Taylor tore them to pieces.
That baby had his whole life ahead of him.
On Christmas Day 2024, 2 groups of friends planned to meet up at 37th and Scott, according to investigators.
Drug deal was set up between 2 groups of friends.
U.S. Marshals explain as one group waited in an SUV, a black Malibu pulled alongside them.
Jeremiah Taylor reached out of the car with a handgun and fired multiple shots into the SUV, killing 2 juveniles in the car.
15-year-old Exiel Rivera and 18-year-old Naya Vasquez died. Police used surveillance to identify 2 suspects. Quintaris Morris was arrested, and investigators say Taylor went on the run.
Bringing somebody like this in that recklessly killed 2 people is very important to us, and he needs to be off the street.
U.S. Marshals believe the 18-year-old is still in the Milwaukee area getting help from loved ones.
Marshal service is not going to go away. We're going to keep showing up, and people are going to continue to go to jail until Jeremiah is found and brought to justice.
Ready to wrap up this case for good. In Milwaukee, Ashley Sears, Fox 6 News.
I do remember hearing about that guy. He's like, guy's like really connected somehow. He's like,
really?
Yeah. He's connected to like some top white guys. I think he's like loosely connected to the mob somehow. He's somebody.
Yeah.
Like
And
somebody's helping him on the run and stuff. Like he's like not some YN. He's like a YN with some rank.
Jeremiah Taylor. Yeah, I've heard that name for damn.
Yeah, Universal. Check the back chat too. Check the back chat.
I got you.
Yeah. Universe, you ever heard of Cornell X?
Yes. Yes.
You see that clip of him recently?
No, what did he do?
Oof. I'll put the link in the back chat here.
All right, yeah, we'll pull that up, and then while you're pulling that up, well, we're gonna go to our correspondent on all Negro politics and things of that nature, Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson. He had some interesting things to say about the current situation down in Dallas. The Pan-African Prince himself.
He was wrong. How do you know he was wrong? You wasn't there. You didn't stand in defense of none of our slain when the police took their lives. You didn't speak up for Trayvon. You didn't speak up for Sonia Massey. You didn't speak up for Sonia Bland or Amir Locke or Dante or Philando Castile or Freddie Gray. You didn't speak up for Breonna Taylor, but you're going to get on the internet and speak up for Caucasian Nation? To every Negro apologizing to Caucasian Nation and publicly convicting our brother Carmelo Anthony in the court of public opinion before he has had his day in court, shame on you Negroes. Shame on every coon. Shame on every Negro pen. Shame on every black cracker who's on the internet apologizing to Caucasian Nation, condemning our brother to guilt before he's had his day in court because you love your slave master. Shame on you, Nick. Talking about he had a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man living in America, you better be walking around with a weapon talking about he had a knife.
There it goes.
You got white boys riding around with guns and y'all crying about a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man in America, you better have some kind of a weapon on you. We are public enemy number one. He's supposed to have a damn knife. What's wrong with you? The coonocracy is out of control. He was
The coonocracy. Wow, that's a new one.
I think I might be part of that. Coonocracy.
Yeah, I don't know, John. You think he's talking to me and you, John? I don't.
Already got a knife.
yeah, me too.
But he's telling the other niggas, get your knives up if you ain't got one, right?
Sharpen
And
your swords.
for you white people that's listening, and all these niggas are arming up, and for the slightest provocation, you're gonna be facing someone with a weapon, ready to use him. That's very interesting. I would love to know, why does he think we're so hated?
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever? I don't follow him, so I'm wondering, has he ever explained that before?
Yeah.
No. I used to follow Dr. Umar way back in the day. He never has explained why.
Yeah.
But nobody does, though. They just roll with the emotion, right? Him and Tariq Nasheed are two leading voices for this narrative right now. And they don't need to explain why. The why doesn't matter. It's just keeping the flame going that's important.
Yeah, it's very interesting that none of these people even ask him, like, damn, like, why am I so, on alert, paranoid and shit? Like, is it really the color of my skin? Like, there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
And you're gonna be on alert forever. I guess you have to be forever. Jeez Louise, that's kind of crazy, bro.
It's because I'm black. That's the reason why. Even though that doesn't explain anything, but that's the reason.
Yeah. I honestly, I think the reason is because you want black men to be on high alert all the time so they can emotionally react to simple, somebody bump into you, somebody step on your shoes. So it's kind of like a manipulation tactic. They just
Right.
want black men to act out. And once you act out and you get put on a t-shirt, now we can pretend like we care about you and grift off your carcass. I think that's really what the goal is.
Yeah, I don't get the there doesn't seem to be an end to this. You just constantly, ramping up someone's paranoia. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's a grift that will never end.
Right.
Very interesting.
And I don't think it's supposed
Go
to
ahead.
be. Honestly, I think that black people, us, we have found identity in victimhood. Like, it gives us some sort of, I don't say bad, it pumps us up. It gives us some sort of purpose in a weird way. And that's why we hop on things like this and we blindly follow things emotionally. It's a very bizarre dynamic. It's that idolatry piece. But it looks like Dr. Umar is not the only community leader, in quotations, that is speaking on this issue We have the brother Quanell X, who we know Blacks Who Defy. Shout out to him. I seen him in the chat earlier. Hates this man. He's been very public about not liking this individual.
And Universal Umar brought he seemed to question the knife, right? Umar said something about the knife, right?
Yeah, well, he didn't question the knife. He said he better have a knife. Yes, he had a knife and he should have a knife.
But I thought early on he said something about you don't know he was stabbed by a knife or something to that effect.
I can run it back. I can run it back.
I think it was early on where he was saying something about the knife.
Here, yeah, I'll run it back. Let's see what he said.
He was wrong. How do you know he was wrong? You wasn't there. You didn't stand in defense of none of our slain when the police took their lives. You didn't speak up for Trayvon. You didn't speak up for Sonia Massey. You didn't speak up for Sonia Bland or Amir Locke or Dante or Philando Castile or Freddie Gray. You didn't speak up for Breonna Taylor, but you're going to get on the internet and speak up for Caucasian Nation? To every Negro apologizing to Caucasian Nation and publicly convicting our brother Carmelo Anthony in the court of public opinion before he has had his day in court. Shame on you Negroes. Shame on every coon. Shame on every Negro pen. Shame on every black cracker who's on the internet apologizing to Caucasian Nation, condemning our brother to guilt before he's had his day in court because you love your slave master. Shame on you, Nick, talking about he had a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man living in America, you better be walking around with a weapon talking about he had a knife.
So
you white boys riding around with guns.
Question it, say talking about he had a knife. That's kind of like questioning it, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes on and said, but you damn right he had a knife.
Yeah, he better have one.
Now the blacks like Stanley is saying it was a spike cleaner, sharp. But Umar said, hell yeah, it's a knife. Well, but first he said, well, you talking about he had a knife. Is he questioning it? I know Phoenix Fish, it seemed like he questioned it. I thought so too. But then he goes on to justify the knife. Which is very interesting.
And I think Umar he's not really understanding why black people are apologizing too. Me, I'm not apologizing. This is just part of American culture. But the reason why blacks are apologizing is because of the support Carmelo is getting for killing somebody. And what those black people understand is now you're birthing Dylan Roofs out here. That's what they're trying to prevent from happening, because this is gonna have some effects. Some kid right now is watching this. Some white kid in the middle of bumfuck America is watching this and thinking, I need to do something for the white culture, because these black people, not only are they killing white folks, but you got all these black people who aren't even killers supporting it. We need to get some retribution. We need to get some get back. And once that starts, where does it end? It don't end until everybody dead. So that's why they're apologizing, Umar.
You better be walking around with a weapon talking about he had a knife. You got white boys riding around with guns and y'all crying about a knife. You damn right. If you're a black man in America, you better have some kind of a weapon on you. We are public enemy number one. He's supposed to have a damn knife. What's wrong with you? The coonocracy is out of control.
So he's basically establishing the case that it was a knife, right?
Yep.
And you better have one.
Yep.
He's going against the black narrative. It's like they're destroying each other. They need to have some solidarity in their messages. Did he have a knife or did he not have a knife? All y'all niggas get on message, on brand.
It's just emotional explaining, right? So no, yeah, they're not on brand. A lot of contradictory messages, and it's all fueled by frustration and hate. And they're lost in the sauce. This case, I didn't think that this case was going to be as big as it has turned out. It's going to be very fascinating once it gets to if it gets to court, because I don't think it's going to. I think this is going to end in a settlement for sure.
Yeah, nah. Universal. When I first saw this, I knew it was going to get huge, man. I knew it was going to get big. this Carmelo's done something that even Malcolm X couldn't do, man.
Mm.
He's done something that uh MLK, a lot of these these black leaders, they couldn't do this. They couldn't rally so many black people to hate Whitey like Carmelo Anthony has done. So I definitely saw this happening, and it's really unfortunate because this is everybody involved lost. They lost, and I think that's the worst case scenario. Just think about you as a black parent. You got your kid at this really good school in this really good area, and now you got a race war. Like you might as well stayed in the hood. Like it's really it's a lose-lose on both sides, man.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna ask my daughter if they've talked about this at all at her school. If she's heard anything about it here in a second. See what she says.
It's one of those things, man. Like if this had happened in the streets, I don't know if it'd have been as big.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But their school, man. We all gotta have to share these schools to the best of our ability. And then you got a young black boy who he didn't buy a home in that neighborhood; he rented.
Yo,
And,
John, man, I'm telling you, when this shit first happened, I was talking to Portia, and I was telling her, John always says the schools are gonna be the battleground. That's how I knew it was gonna be so big. That's how I knew the schools is really the battleground in this race stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it really gets inflamed because you can't. I mean, how could you blame the black families for wanting to move to a better area? How could you blame them for that? But that comes with a cost too. Now you're not the majority. Now you do feel like an outsider to a certain extent.
yeah. And this brings up so many elements. In many of these communities like this, I think it's a gated community, which means they probably have an HOA. And typically they're be fairly strict on HOAs in terms of renting. If anyone's familiar with that, does anyone live in an HOA community?
No, I don't have a HOA.
Yeah,
But if you're familiar with it, typically they have strict rules, or they have rules, varying levels of strictness. And so one of the rules is renting. They can have some guidelines around renting. And here, this black family probably could not buy there, but decided to rent there. And I think that they're going to be looking at their HOA policies real strict here in terms of people buying homes, maybe as investments, and then just rent them out to anybody. That's one of the things I think they're probably focusing on there.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. That's a real good point. And I think that's the one thing about some of the laws in Texas. I don't think they really have those types of laws. Like you can rent out an apartment and then Airbnb it. So they're kind of really relaxed on that type of stuff down there. So this might lead to some sort of changes like that to prevent these types of things from happening. And then that just makes it worse for everybody, honestly. That's why, a lot of black folks, they don't really see how these things can affect everybody. So you're rallying for something like this. And now, I can't even rent a house in a good neighborhood to send my kids off to a good school,
And one of the things is that, over the years, we've been talking about like corporate ownership and people buying property as an investment, not necessarily living there. These are foreigners, apparently, that own the home that Carmelo lives in. You got the money, they don't give a shit about your neighborhood. They'll put anybody there. And so I'm not saying that the Carmelos own anybody, but going forward, I imagine if someone else would own that home, they'd probably be very selective as to who they let in there. And the schools may come into mind. Do I want my children going to school with these people or in my neighborhood? So it's very interesting there. Because if they had bought the house, what can you say? They bought it, but they were renting. You can preclude people from getting in your neighborhood by renting, if you don't want them there.
Oh, you're muted, Universal. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm yelling at my kids. They're loud.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
But I did ask my oldest daughter, actually both of them came up here, if they heard about the story. They haven't heard about it. But my oldest said there was a fight at a track meet at her school over the weekend. So I said, what the girls look like? The mixed girl and a black girl, of course. Nobody got stabbed. No one died.
No stab.
Man, these track meets are getting dangerous, man. Who would
I
have
ran
thought?
track.
Going to the head started it all.
And we in the burbs too, so we're in the suburbs. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, yeah, I definitely think that since this situation is blown up so big, like it is going to affect a lot of different things, and HOA is one of those things I can definitely see pop up. And HB, you might know a little bit about this, but isn't now Dallas has a lot of gated communities. I remember when I was down there just riding around, I seen a lot of like gated communities. I wonder how that will affect things as well, because there's already kind of a strategic blocking out of people.
Oh yeah,
in some of those neighborhoods down there. So it
oh
just
yeah,
should be interesting.
yeah. There's a lot of gated, bricked off communities down here, and it's
Really?
it's really interesting to see because it's coming from Chicago, you don't see anything like that really.
Yeah,
You could walk right up to somebody's front door in Chicago,
Yeah.
but out there in like Dallas, Fort Worth area, you see a lot of gated communities. Even like, a lot of gated apartments, just completely blocked off.
Yeah, I seen that too, which is weird, super weird, man.
I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more of that in America. I guess Dallas probably still building a lot of housing, so they have the advantages of being able to build in security and shit. That's why, I've hinted at that. Like, if you can't get control of the crime, people are going to start living like in the third world, in gated communities and shit like that. Even regular people, as you can see, even Carmelo, they're not rich, and they live in a gated community. It's very interesting.
Well, you're muted, Universal. You're muted.
John, you had asked about Quanell X. Here is his position on what is going on down in Dallas.
$1 million. Wait a minute. The officer who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he got a right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours.
Okay, let me
that
be
young
clear.
brother was attacked.
I know you're yelling because you really get worked up when you're lying. But let me say, let me be very clear.
But then it's justified.
Us killing
but when we defend ourselves,
now,
it's murder.
Let me.
Kyle Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute. The officer who killed Michael Brown.
You gotta pause it, man. This nigga is lying through and through. He lied at the beginning. He said Carmelo didn't threaten anybody. He literally said, if you touch me, see what happens. That's a threat. Second of all, Kyle Rittenhouse, the reason why people raised money for him is because he was defending himself. They were trying to kill him, and we saw it live. These niggas, and this is like another issue. Why do black people always have to compare themselves to white people? Why can't we have a standard higher than white people's? Why we gotta go down to white people's level? Well, they did it, so why is it bad if we did it? Maybe we supposed to be better. You ever thought about that, nigga?
And they always try to say, well, if you were to bring this up with Stanley, he'd be like, well, there's 2 different states or something. And, well, Kyle Rittenhouse was in a totally different state. All these circumstances are different. If you just wanted to be just, asinine about the whole shit. But, you're definitely right. They look for a reason, their reasons to do things based upon white people doing it. That's fucking amazing right there. They set the bar at white people standards. Someone said Asian standards. Yeah, why not do better?
Exactly. Yeah, Asians don't compare themselves to white people. I ain't never heard no Asian say something about You know, well, white people do it.
And if you talk down so much about white people, how the hell you want to live up to their standard? You know, set your own standard. What the fuck, you know?
What is the current black standard? Right? We're saying Asians have standards, whites have standards. What's the black standard?
Is
Right?
rape
As it stands today.
I think it's right below white people's standards. Whatever white people do is right below that, because that's the only thing we ever compare it to. We never compare it to anything else, and that's what you know, these niggas always seem to forget. It's like we're supposed to be better than white folks, man. Like we supposed to have a higher standard, but y'all want to always bring it down to them. And fuck it, man. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero, man. I'm tired of this. Nigga was a fucking hero. I'm tired of them trying to slander that man's name. He ain't in prison for a reason.
I wonder why they don't cheer him on. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Hell, he shot 2 white people. Why they ain't happy about that? You know, at least just ambivalent. You know, I don't give a shit one way or the other. You know,
That's because most black people believe Kyle Rittenhouse shot black people. They still believe that, even though it's on video, you can see it. They still believe that he shot 3 black people that day.
Yeah, that is funny.
Which is insane. But those are people who are wearing masks still too, so you know it's a bit of a concern.
I mean, we saw that on Anton Daniels, like yo,
yeah. And again, when we talk about when that 70% number gets thrown out there, that woman who was talking on that show, you know, she looks like a pretty educated woman. She probably has a decent job. She looks like she would know to look and research, but still she follows the belief system. She leans into the narrative and the motion, and that's where she gets stuck at.
We got Kimmy K calling here. Hold on for a second.
All right, go for it.
Kimmy Cakes? Am I connected here? Kimmy Cakes? Sometimes they don't fucking connect. We'll call you right back, Kimmy Cakes. The fuck, sometimes did they have the volume up?
Yeah. Hey, chat, you guys make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. And as always, if you guys want to help sponsor this episode of The Morning Roast.
I don't know why I can hear you. I can hear it, so it's definitely on. Right?
We can hear it, John. Well, we can hear the ringing.
Yeah, so it should be able to hear it.
John?
Yeah, okay, now
there we go. There we go.
Up, what's up?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. What's up?
I had a question. How do we know that blacks are actually donating? A lot of black people, no one donated. People don't even care. And how do we know it's not an Act Blue or Soros or somebody who put money into it?
Well, I think you're right. Yeah, Kimmy Case is saying, how do we know this is not like an AstroTurf and that NGOs aren't donating money to these GoFundMes for like Carmelo Anthony?
We don't. That's the scary part. We don't.
Wait, Kimmy Case, I talked about Janet Cook a couple of days ago. She made up a story in Washington, D.C. She fucking won a Pulitzer Prize off this shit. It was all fake. And she wrote a story about a black junkie child who strung out on drugs. She was all fake. And she was a black woman. You know, couldn't find any other better stories. And
Kamala's done it.
Yeah, and so is it beyond, like imagination that someone would donate $5 and then say he was being bullied in school and then turn around and write an article off that shit, off the comments, and to GoFundMe? And that's what I think is happening, because all of these rumors have been spread by and large, it seems like, from the comments and the gifts and go or whatever. I think that's where the bullying started. I think that's where that rumor started. And that's why I'm thinking that a lot of this is coming from all the comments there. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for taking my call.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good question. And I agree too. I think that there are definitely groups that are vested in stirring up the narrative, and that's where the psyop begins. And it comes from both ends. I think where it comes to black people is more in carrying the narrative and pushing that further divide and that victim mentality and identity. But yeah, I don't know any black folks myself either that have donated. but I do see folks siding with Carmelo and his actions for sure.
I mean, it was Stanley. I mean, I have a clip on the channel where Stanley said, "Shit, I think it was." He said, I think he was killed with a spike. I'm sorry, spike sharpeners. Where did that come from? I heard T mention it. Where did she get that from? They didn't tell you where it come from, and so I'm thinking it must be coming from the comments or somebody on the internet somewhere seeding that, and people buying into it.
Why do you think that Black folks are so hurt by this? Do you feel like they're hurt? I feel like there's a level of pain that we hear about this situation. You know, it's been about a week now. Like, what are y'all's general kind of assessment of how Black people are responding to this situation?
What do you think, HB?
I think what they're trying to, what they're really hurt about is that they want to make Carmelo a hero when really he's the villain. And I think deep down they know he's the villain, but they can't really come to grips with, you know, the situation. So they're trying to make up all these scenarios in their head where, you know, he was being bullied. Like that, to me, as a Black man, I couldn't even allow that thought to come to my head that I was bullied by a white boy, for one. So it's this it's like they're angry because nobody looks at them as victims, but they look at themselves as victims. And I think that's what the anger is. It's like you want everybody to feel remorse for you, but nobody feels remorse for you. I think that's really what this comes down to. But Black folks are just gonna have to learn the hard way. We're gonna have to learn the hard way. Nobody gives a fuck about us like that. Unless you dead, then they'll care about you.
We got another call coming in. It's Antoine on the line. What's up, Antoine?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right.
Antoine, salute.
I wanted to ask a question about, did they have that peaceful walk for the white boy that was slain at the track?
Yeah, we covered it. Not many people showed up. I probably would say 50 people at best showed up. Wasn't that many people there?
Oh, so they did have it. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But
I'm gonna go back and watch it then.
Yeah, not many people showed up, but you know what is interesting is or what I found interesting, I don't know what you guys thought. The Black handler for the father of Austin Metcalf. Did you guys see that?
Oh, you talking about the guy with the cowboy hat on?
And he had a logo on his shirt that said Team Black Male Winning. And this was the man that was speaking for Jeff Metcalf at the rap.
Yeah. And you know, and I think Jeff saw it. He saw what was going to happen. That was one of the things when it first happened. I asked Brave about it because I knew where this was going to go. See, a lot of we're Black, so we're focusing on the black side of this. But you got to look at the white side too. The whites are pretty much doing the same thing, where they're turning this into a whole. You know, Black men are more violent, and Black men kill white people disproportionately. And it may be true, but what these types of narratives can influence other people to do something even more violent. So the dad saw this shit coming a mile away, and that's what he wants to stop. Because honestly, I don't believe Austin did this out of any racial you know, I don't think he approached Carmelo with a race bias. If you look at Austin and his pictures, you could tell he was, you know, he had a little nigga streak in him. You know, he wasn't a
punk. He was a football player.
He wasn't no punk ass white boy. You know, he wasn't like that. He had Black friends, hung out with Black people. One of his friends just came out and spoke. Black friend came out and spoke for him. Said he wasn't he didn't have a racist bone in his body. But on the white side, they're gonna take that and make it racialized, and that, you know, it's just, to me, it's just as negative is the blacks doing the same thing.
What I have shown on the screen here.
All right, I'm sure.
What I have shown on the screen here.
All right, thanks for the call, John.
All right. What I have shown on the screen here is apparently it's a tweet from Jeff Metcalf, realtor. Apparently he's a realtor. Assuming this tweet is real, is to all who celebrate Kwanzaa as we celebrate the Kwanzaa. He tweeted about Kwanzaa. This is December 26, 2024. Assuming this is a real tweet here, it kind of lines up with his behavior thus far. He's maybe very sympathetic to the black issues there.
Right. I think that's what makes this so kind of evil is I don't think either of them were really racist, but everybody's gonna use the race to push their narratives. Man, this is really fucked up. This is really fucked up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting. He's tweeting about Kwanzaa. A white man tweeting about Kwanzaa. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's almost an oxymoron, John. A white man tweeting about Kwanzaa. That's crazy, man. I'd feel uncomfortable if I saw a white man celebrating Kwanzaa, man. Wait, what the hell is going on?
Salute.
Must got a black girlfriend, huh? You got a sister.
Oh, he got a black side piece. Iron in his clothes.
Well, I don't even think that him and his wife are married anymore.
Oh,
I don't think.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're separated. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And that's like a whole other dynamic of this, where the Carmelo, his parents are together, and Austin, his isn't, but it's not really getting highlighted.
No.
Like it would be if it was the other way around. But
Right. Yeah. John, did you want to check this clip out again? This is that interaction with that black representative and
oh yeah, for those that haven't seen it, yeah. And we got another call in. Let's see who this is.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, go ahead. We'll play clip, and then we take the 12th man out there. I think it's 12th man. We take it out there. Clip. Go ahead.
All right.
In a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point. God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today. Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk.
Let me finish. I give you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir.
Wait, pause it real quick, Universal. And see, that right there is the whole point. They don't, just like how blacks do it with Black Lives Matter, these white nationalists will use a dead white boy to push their agenda. That's why this shit is so fucking evil. The dad is literally telling you, take my son's name off your fucking website, and he's calling him a white apologist.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is evil, man.
Yeah, very much so.
I think, as we see on the black side, where people are taking the opportunity to express their, to prey off the carcass. I think what you're seeing is white weakness. This guy coming in grifting off of white weakness. If the man stood up for his own son, there would be no place for Jake Lane. But a lot of these white men just are not standing up, and it's creating, a space for grifters. And Jake Lane is that grifter. That white man tweeting about Kwanzaa. Maybe he has to do it for his business. Fair enough. But he didn't seem to, the blacks brought race into it.
Yeah, John, you as a landlord, you understand, man. Sometimes you have to pander to sometimes you gotta pander to other groups of people
He probably tweeted for Dewalt and all the other shit too.
Yeah.
But when he showed up for that press conference, they kicked him out. He said he was going there to, pray with the people or whatever the hell he's going to do. And then they just blindsided his ass with race.
Yep.
I mean, bro, you got to wake up at this point, bro. Like,
yep.
Gee, they playing the race card hard as hell.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not gonna play it, well, okay, you're gonna play with your hand behind your back. That's the way it is. Mhm.
Yeah, it's above him now. But I do like the fact that he was able to stand up for himself and try to separate himself from this. But the race narrative is so far gone, I don't even think it's gonna matter. And
But he looked like
both sides are playing at this point. Go ahead.
He looked like a cook. Got this black man talking for him,
Mm.
right? That's what looked cuckish to me.
Yeah,
Damn,
quite possible.
I had 12 man on the line, but damn, someone else, and maybe he hung up. Hold on, we got another call on him.
All right.
See who this person is. Hello?
Yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new here.
Bro Genius right here. What's up, Bro Genius?
Oh, there we go.
Hello, Bro Genius.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. What's up?
Oh, yeah, I was just calling in, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's feedback. I think it's a.
It might be there might be feedback on your end.
Oh, okay. I got the. Let me see. Let me turn. Yeah, I got the YouTube turned down. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. So, what's the topic, man?
Oh, come on, bro, genius. You're supposed to be a genius, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, we got
bro.
12 man anyway. Back to 12 man. Man, you there?
He's black, y'all. Give him a second.
12 man, you there? Yeah, what's up, 12 man?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, 12th man. We can hear you.
Gotcha. I was wondering if we're doing any good by kind of sensationalizing all these killings and stuff. Do you think that maybe we're part of the problem by talking about this stuff ad nauseum?
To a certain extent. But I do think the way that we're talking about it, I think we are being, for the most part, objective about it and trying to at least come to some conclusion or some solutions that we could see in this. You know, they say in the Bible, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And I think what that really means to me is that, you know, I would much rather align with somebody who believes in what's right than aligning with somebody based on a racial dynamic. Just because
Yeah, I
we
know.
have the same skin color doesn't mean that. Yeah, but you know, just because we got the same skin color doesn't mean.
Just fight it out.
Yeah,
we wasn't stabbing each other and all that shit.
No more fighting, man. No more fighting.
Yeah, 12 man. How's Sam Fisher, 12 man?
He's doing good. We're going to Arkansas October. We're gonna go visit Mom.
Oh man, God bless you and Sam Fisher, 12th man. God bless you guys.
All right, 12th man, we'll call you back. We got another call coming in, 12th man.
God bless y'all. Thanks for.
All right, 12th man.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it. I just wondered if talking about all the killings all the time was a good thing or not.
Never a good thing for killings to happen, 12th man. Never a good thing for them to happen. Thank you, 12th man. Bro Genius, I think we got Bro Genius. Bro Genius, you figure out what we talking about here?
What's going on? Huh?
You figure out what we talking about here?
Yeah. So y'all talking about the incident, the Metcalf?
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, we were playing a Cornell X clip where he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, are they gonna release the video?
Probably in court. It'll probably be released in court.
Okay, so they haven't started the trial yet.
Nah. It may not even go to trial. We'll have to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the circumstances is, but you can't necessarily bring no gun to a knife fight, and you can't bring no knife fight to a fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, typically that's the rule.
You know, I mean, what is it with the young people now? They don't want to be bullied.
Hell, who wants to be bullied? Who wants to be
You know,
bullied?
I had to deal with bullies. It's the dude with the dreadlocks from Chicago.
Yeah, HB. No, he's not from Chicago. He used to live in Chicago. HB. He's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I lived there for 10 years. I lived there for 10 years.
And I know you got a lot of stories.
Oh yeah.
But coming from Chicago, man, in the 90s and the 80s, it was a lot of bullies. Mainly the GDs. They would bully you and try to get you to join the gang because they was the dominant gang in Chicago. So if you was coming up in Chicago, you had to deal with GD. And then Blackstone and all kind of Vice Lords, all the other gangs. And usually it was fisticuffs.
Usually.
Usually it was fisticuffs. Yeah. You know, you live some, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, that was the case. Hey, well, thank you, Bro Junior, for calling, man. We got to finish up the show here. You keep going with the show. Thank you for calling. Yeah.
All right.
That was Bro Junior. Yeah. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, broke genius, man. On the ones and twos. Yeah, let's finish this up, Universal.
We're Austin Metcalf with your
Black man
weakness.
here, you are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
You're not gonna make
If
us
we
back
were all,
down.
if we were all of your nature,
Guys, listen.
You're
let me
not
say
gonna
this.
save us. Not yet.
Do you know who you're talking to? You don't, do you?
I'm talking to a black man.
You don't. No, you're not.
Okay.
You sit here, you talk about Trump.
But I am. You're not
Google
gonna
my
make me
name
back
and
down.
Trump. No. When you do that, my name is.
I agree with black males
No,
winning,
Google that.
but they're not winning
but
right
what
now.
You're doing,
they're becoming
what
degenerates.
you're doing
and murdering white
you're
people.
You're not helping America. You're no more patriotic than I am.
Being silent is not helping.
January
You've been
6th?
silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you on January 6th?
You've been silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you? Did you stand for your country? So you think that made you patriot because you showed up there? Does that make you a patriot? Because you showed up.
All you're doing is condemning us. What's your solution?
My solution is to help people where they're weak. So we have an issue in young black males' lives across the country.
It's not. Say that to Jeff Metcalf. Say that to Jeff Metcalf.
We talk about it, man.
Say it.
At the end of the day, the man is asking. So let me ask you this: you got a father who's grieving, and your response is he's weak.
My father is celebrating my strength right now.
You have no idea. You'll never win the Senate. And what I'll do, I'll come to Florida and run for Senate and run as a Republican, and I'll kick.
No, so on one hand, the black man says, you know, we got a problem, something we try to help the black men. Well, hell, the white man is saying, yeah, I agree with you. There is a problem. It seems like they just got a disagreement on what the problem is. They both admit there's a problem, right? The black man, he said, Team Black Man winning. He's trying to help the black man. But he may not want to admit to what the cause is. The white man is saying, well, the cause is this. Again, you know, I don't think the black man is willing to listen to what the white man is saying or even consider it. But it has to be said. It's going to be said by somebody, you know. If it ain't the culture and the rap music, okay, well, scratch that off the list and keep working. But it's something, you know what I mean? It's something.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I can't really put my finger on it though, John, because this was like a school function, and you know, like I got in a lot of fights at school. So I don't know if that's just part of, you know, growing up, but I do think there is a difference between like a school fight and black folks running down on white people because they look at them as weaker, or black folks running down on Asians because they're weaker. So I think this situation is kind of conflating all those issues into one. And that's kind of the problem.
How similar would you say this issue is to the man that jumped out the car because his car was brushing, ended up shooting the woman dead?
I see, and I think that's there are some similarities, but I think the difference is those people that were involved were all adults. These were still, high schoolers. So, like in high school, in middle school, high school, I'm not turning down no fight. Now as a grown man, I know better than, I'm going to avoid as many fights as I possibly can. So I think that's the difference, is the mindset. It's you kind of got to be held to a higher standard when you're an adult as opposed to when you're still a kid.
Do you think the guy draws down on a black couple that made a mistake and brushed his car?
Yeah, John, that type of shit happens all the time in the hood. And that's why it's almost not even it's almost completely, the only reason we even know about it is because it's racialized. Niggas get clapped for stepping on Air Force Ones.
Now, Air Force Ones, I could see that, but like brushing somebody's car?
Yeah, man, niggas get clapped like that every weekend, John, for the same shit, but it's not racialized. And I think that's more of an issue of just men of today in general. Like, it's because honestly too, like is crazy as that black man was for pulling out the gun, the white guy is just as crazy for pulling the gun out of his girl's purse. Like what? Like would you y'all about to have a shootout and have this beautiful white woman in the middle of it?
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah, man, it's damn near. I feel like it's a man thing. And then too, bringing your girl out to the club in the middle of Dallas at night. Like what type of man would even bring his woman into danger? I was listening to Jenny last night, and she was just talking about how protective her husband was of her, and she was just saying how like he didn't even let her cross the street. She thought it was so crazy, but that's how protective of her he was. He didn't even let her cross a street. And sometimes women don't really understand that, but a real man is always going to think about that type of stuff.
Damn, yeah, damn. And for him to die in a car crash, that's kind of, damn.
Yeah. That kind of brings it all together. Like we could protect women, but sometimes we got to think about protecting ourselves too, a little bit more.
Yo, Portia just put up on the stream here, Bruce C. Carter. Yo, take a look at this shit. We'll come back to that in a second, Universal. So here's the black guy. Here's who he is right here. Let Bruce C. Carter do the talking more than your usual public relations firm. This is him since 2016. Interesting. He's helped companies and individuals implement their creative visions and fight their battles. Our growing public relations firm is driven by passionate thinkers who work closely with each other, blah, blah, blah. Meet the founder. He's the author of 2 books, powerful books, Standing on Business and Becoming the Best Dad, A Father's Guide. 2-time American football player at Iowa Wesleyan. He earned his Bachelor of Arts while dominating on the field. He often joked that his real education came later, earning a master's from Let Down University and a PhD from Overcomers University. Online universities. At 23,
street universities.
He went to Street University. At 23, he was charged with the illegal purchase of firearms after buying guns for an out-of-state friend. So he's a criminal.
Wait, was that after the football? 23, or was that during?
After the football.
Jesus.
He openly disclosed the purchase on his friend's behalf, unaware that doing so constituted a straw purchase under Texas law. 5 years probation. He ultimately served 18 months in federal prison after a technical violation, going hunting with business associates just 1 week before his probation was at the end. God damn. Despite the setback, turned adversity into impact, mentorship, leadership, positively influenced over 500,000 young people from across the country. And here it comes. His effort earned him the Lifetime Achievement Award from Barack Hussein Obama. In 2016, he entered the political arena by founding two grassroots movements, Black Men for Bernie and Trump for Urban Communities. A bold effort to explore how politics intersects with the daily realities of underserved communities. So wait a minute. Black Men for Bernie and Trump for, so he playing both sides? Is that
He's
right?
playing all sides. He is the Travis Hunter of
damn.
the urban political voice. He plays all positions.
Did he ever talk about where he works? I know he's got
Works for himself. No, so that organization, Team Black Men Winning, he runs that. So he's
What he got right now? Look what he got right now, University. R.I.P. K-Mo.
K-Mo. Hey, man. Damn, that's a lot of Patron on the right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Universal getting his mouth watering looking at all that.
Universal,
it's about that time.
Yeah, I see some Moet bottles.
Oh man, I gotta hit the Hennessy first, man. I got the Don Julio. Yeah, they was sipping.
They all empty too. They all empty.
They all empty. I see the Casamigos in the back, the Moet.
R.I.P. Mo.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Mo for the Moet. But look at the headline here. America's large cities plagued with crime. And nigga, what's the Jake Lane says your culture nigga just causing the crime. What does he say?
The desire or need to commit a crime. It doesn't matter if it's Atlanta, Baltimore, Chicago, Dallas, Detroit, LA, Memphis, Oakland, Philadelphia, or Prince George County, Maryland. I have been there on the ground and in the air. The failure of city leaders, school districts, and fathers have contributed to a reckless, hopeless, and deadly society in America's urban cores that are spreading like wildfire to suburban communities. Pathways to Independence is a solution because it addresses the root issues that many households are facing. Police cannot and will not prevent or reduce crime because they are.
You see where his griff is coming from.
Yeah,
the police had to deal with niggas.
He's a level below Ben Crump.
Yeah. Well, Ben Crump ain't teaching him. Ben Crump is extorting.
He's sweeping it up. He's clean. Ben Crump's coming with the bag open. He's actually putting in some effort.
Yeah. This guy's probably on a list of federal people that when you need crisis management, they refer him to you, right?
Yep, exactly.
Actionary system, but they will remove criminals from your communities. Prosecutors will not reduce or prevent crimes, but a bad prosecutor can keep criminals in your community. The common denominator is they have committed a crime when either the police or prosecutors interact with them. It's time to reduce crime and prevent violence by creating hope and raise up generations.
Well, he ain't got nothing to say. Creating hope, nigga. If the real is gone, nigga. Political strategy, blah, blah, blah. So that's who this guy is. Anyway, so in case you guys are interested.
Yeah, another grifter. And that's why you kind of got to question Metcalf's dad, because it's like, man, both of y'all got grifters on your side, man.
Let me ask you this question.
He's got to fight the battle, though, right?
Do you think this Metcalf's father reached out and hired this guy?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was brought to him.
I think you're right, Universal. I think he was brought to him and he thought it was a good idea to kind of, and that's really the grift too. You know, he probably was like, yo, you need to use me to kind of calm some of these racial tensions, but really he's just grifting, you know.
Who you think is paying him?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably the government, probably China. I don't know.
I mean, at this level, it could be a couple different people, right? It could be the state, because the state wants to bring them down. It could be the school district. because they want to keep tensions low. They don't want this to get too overblown. He could be funded by the law firm that's representing the Metcalf family. He can be getting paid a couple different ways at this point.
The Metcalf family have a law firm for what?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm assuming they're going to need some kind of legal action given the circumstance of what's happening. Right? He shows up at the press conference. They could potentially sue him for that, intimidate. I don't know. This is where Juan needs to come in because I'm speaking outside of my term. But I would assume that there's some everybody's eating off this dynamic. I wouldn't be surprised if some lawyers have come the Metcalf's way to give them some support.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Like somebody's paying him, otherwise he wouldn't be there.
He would not be
found
there.
himself in the middle of this.
That is correct. He wouldn't be there. And that's why I wonder, like, who the hell is paying him? And I would suspect, some kind of nonprofit, is backdoor paying this guy to quell down the racial tensions. That's very interesting.
I should go back and look back at that press conference video to see if he was there. I don't know if we noticed him.
Which press conference?
The one, the original one with the family a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if this guy.
I don't think he was there.
Okay.
I think I saw the father walking in by himself.
By himself. Okay.
I saw him somewhere else with the father though. I can't remember where. He was somewhere else with the father. That's very interesting though.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of players involved in this one. Did you guys want to keep watching the rest of that video clip, or do you want to move on to something else?
Yeah, we got to finish up Cornell too. I think we paused it.
I thought we were done. I can run that back. Give me 1 second.
I thought we played by half of it, and HB wanted to comment on it.
My bad. I thought the clip was over.
I think he said something interesting about the knife.
All right, I'm gonna switch back to Cornell. We'll wrap that one up. Then we'll go back to the other clip.
Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he could have right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours.
Okay, let me
that
be
young
clear.
brother was attacked.
I know you're yelling because you really get worked up when you're lying. But let me say, let me say very clear.
It's justified.
Us killing
but we defend ourselves.
Now,
it's murder. Kyle Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute. The officer who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he could have right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours.
Okay, let me
that
be
young
clear.
brother was attacked.
I know you're yelling because you really get worked up when you're lying. But let me say, let me say very clear.
But then it's justified.
Us killing
but we defend ourselves.
Now,
it's murder. Kyle Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised.
And that's Cornell. That I just thought that, man, like, you defending murders. I mean, at best you should be ambivalent. Hey man, like, just want the justice system to work. He's straight race. Y'all killing us. We killing y'all. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When young people dying and facing one, the other one facing prison. Shit, you should be looking for solutions and to these things, offer some kind of conflict resolution.
Yeah.
He's eye for an eye.
That's how a lot of people are approaching this. Eye for an eye. I don't see a lot of sympathy or empathy or even remorse that a kid did die in this situation. And honestly, the other kid, his life is potentially, a good chunk of it is going to be taken away from him, I believe. This is going to have impacts. And I just think that people have jumped on the racial narrative and they're not really considering the lives that have been impacted by this directly.
Yeah. Because Carmelo, I heard he had like 2 D3 scholarships, and I do wonder if that played a part in it too. Like he's working at Foot Locker, he's got 2 D3 offers, but you know, Austin, you know, he was a 4.0 student, had many D1 offers, and I some part of me wonders if this crash out was because he didn't really see a future, you know. He didn't really see any other options, because if I got, you know, I got D1 offers, I'm probably not going to stab somebody. But, you know, you got a bunch of D3s and some red shirts, you know, it might make it a little bit, you might feel like a failure already and your life ain't even started yet.
Quite possible.
Yeah, Genesee Ben. Yeah, he Carmelo shouldn't, honestly, he shouldn't even been playing football, man. He should have been focused on those books, man.
What position would he play? Was stats would have been trash like that?
I think he was playing wide receiver.
Yeah, it could be wide receiver, running back. He was a thin kid, so I would assume he's on the wide receiver for sure. He might be on the defensive end, maybe a cornerback or a safety or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Tro, that's a fact too, man. Where you start doesn't determine where you stop. You know, I always think about Tom Brady, man. Like they say Tom Brady ran the slowest 100-yard dash in recorded history. And look where his career ended. Like sometimes, you know, you just gotta have faith. And I wish Carmelo had more faith in himself, because he just threw it all away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very interesting. You know, I was going to show you guys something. I just thought about this. We were talking about all this money behind all this shit.
Yeah.
I saw this clip come out of DC today, this morning or yesterday. You might find it interesting. I've seen this shit before myself. I actually got pictures somewhere. It was like an Antifa van riding around DC, and I said, "Damn, like that's a motherfucker. That's Antifa." And you know, so they're so easy to spot. You know, it's like you know, they would be like in a truck or something, and you know, like a U-Haul type van, and you know, it's just easy to spot. I think they may have had the windows blocked out. I can't remember, but it was easy to spot. You know, I think they had logos, all that kind of shit on there. Take a look at this. This is out of DC.
Today. She looked crazy already.
What you saying, Universe?
Said she looked crazy already. See them eyes?
Oh, it might be a man, bro. It might be a man.
That's true.
Look, this is right by. Is this the White House?
Is a man? Is that? I think that was a man.
Yeah, this might be right by the White House. It looks like by the White House right here. Anyway.
Hi. I'm just documenting you guys putting all your protest stuff in a van. It's very nice of you. How far did you travel to come to protest today?
That's not really your concern.
I'm just a journalist, so like I'm just curious, you know.
Okay. Are you with a news agency?
Yeah, independent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any questions that I can answer you for?
Yeah, like where do you guys come from today? Like
We live here in the DC area.
then why do you have like a van full of stuff? People
Well, you might
wearing
know that
masks.
there's a road here.
Yeah,
And
no.
the roads are great for transporting things and traveling. So
Just you know, I can videotape on a sidewalk, so
no, I'm gonna stop you from videotaping it.
yeah, I'm not gonna interrupt you guys.
I'm just trying to understand.
Just interesting. You guys are putting everything in a van, and you're getting really mad about it. You know, that looks really suspicious.
I'm just trying to make sure that you have, all the answers that you would.
Are you guys
for.
paid?
So
How much did Soros or Reid Hoffman pay you to come protest Trump today? Come on. Was it good? Did you get paid well? I'm a journalist, so like, well, yeah. How much are you guys getting paid? Like, do you guys have fun?
Oh wait, how much are paying you?
Like I said, I'm a journalist. My pay doesn't matter. I'm here to document the rally.
okay, well the rally is over.
So do you guys get paid today?
No, for you for doing it.
Are you sure?
Yep. You got
Positive?
paid to do it.
Oh, you don't want me to get the license plate? Why? Why? Because I don't know. If you guys are like a legitimate grassroots, you shouldn't be worried about it. But someone's funding you, clearly.
Well, I should get paid to do the same. Oh my goodness, let me pay.
Yeah, that's a gay Muslim, John. He should be ashamed of himself, man. It was like a Revenge of the Nerds, man. That was a bunch of fucking freaks, man.
And them motherfuckers dangerous though, bro.
Yeah, that's what I say. This is
They serious. They can inflict some violence. You know, they're crazy.
Hell yeah.
And they're very passionate, and somebody's paying them. You know what I'm saying? And that's right downtown DC. I don't even know what the hell they were protesting, bro. But they were out in sufficient enough numbers. Damn. So now you see
you saw they had their those scarves on, those Palestine scarves. So yeah, that was a bunch of mutants out there with Palestine cloths on.
Somebody say PSL web. What is that? Is that what they had? Is that what they had on?
Yeah, that might be their site. Let's see.
Yeah, somebody's definitely paying these people, man.
Yep.
Somebody's behind this.
The Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
go ahead.
No, it's all of this stuff is connected somehow, John. I've been thinking about this a lot. There was a time like this is I've been just thinking about this, but there was a time during the feudal times in history where there were like philosophers who would philosophize about capitalism. And I kind of feel like we're in that early stages where now we have to start thinking about what is there going to be after capitalism, especially with like all the AI and the robots and this universal income thing that they're trying to roll out to people. And I feel like all of this stuff is kind of connected where people aren't as smart. There's less jobs out here for people. The jobs are only going to get less and less. So it's almost like you kind of got to dumb down the society before you can just, roll these things out. And the only people that are really going to be able to make money are the billionaires, trillionaires at the top.
Kind of like Idiocracy. You ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Exactly. So there's something else going on, and I think it all kind of is connected. The AI, the robot revolution. Like there's gonna come a time where Amazon and all these other big companies are gonna be totally automated.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. Man, Universal, I think I sent you the wrong clip, bro. I want to play the full clip. HB, but you're not a big fan of automated trucking, though. I saw a truck the other day. That motherfucker didn't even have is it a cabin?
Yeah.
That did not have a cab, bro. It just had basically the trailer.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of it. But it is gonna be a reality eventually. I think pretty much all jobs are gonna be automated at some point in history and in the future.
I think government is going to come in and protect certain jobs under the guise of safety. Like, for instance, they're not going to let automated oil be rolling down the road.
Yeah. There's gonna be certain, but I think for the majority, like I was just thinking about like me as a truck driver and like my management team. There's like a whole management team that I work with, but honestly, they could all really be replaced with AI.
Yeah.
They could do all this shit, connecting me with loads and talking me through stuff. All of that shit could get like middle management. All of that shit can be replaced with AI.
Middle management really under attack, bro. Really
right. Like all of that shit is I mean, I've literally pulled up to places where everything is automated. Everything is AI.
What the whole like the what would that be? Like I guess it's part of the supply chain then, right?
Yeah. Like I pull up to a shipper and I don't even talk to a human. I talk to an AI and they tell me where they want me to drop the trailer and pick up an empty, and they sign off on my paperwork. They send me out a slip, print me out a slip. Everything's AI. And
Damn,
I
so
think, yeah. So, I mean, 5 years ago, that was all people working there. That was all people doing that.
yeah, damn, that is crazy. Man, I found the latest, the updated clip, the clip I meant to send Universal. Now remember we've heard Umar say that, all black men should have knives, right? Or something to that effect. I think that's what Umar said. And here's another clip of Cornell. Is it Cornell? Cornell X, yeah. And so I'll put that on the screen here. And then I just want you to notice some of the things he's saying versus what the other guy, what Umar is saying. Stanley with the spike cleaner and all that.
Was it a violation of school policy to come to the track meet armed with a deadly weapon?
So now,
yes or no?
Wait a minute.
Yes or no?
It was that
yes
kind of knife.
No?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
What?
I'm not that kind of knife. Sound like George Floyd. I'm not that kind of knife. What kind of knife can you bring to can I bring a switchblade? Is that okay?
Ooh, man. I mean, these niggas ought to be in creative writing, man. They ought to be in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is University here, man? What would you think about that University? He said, dude, not that
I just got back. Play the clip one more time, or play it back real quick.
You give me 1 minute, University. I want you to hear this shit. Isn't it?
Was it a violation of school policy to come to the track meet armed with a deadly weapon?
So now,
yes or no?
Wait a minute.
Yes or no?
It was that kind of knife.
No?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
I'm not that. You said it. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, that was George Floyd. I'm not that kind of knife. Not that kind of knife. Not that kind of guy.
University, where is this nigga going with this? What kind of knife would be acceptable?
I have no idea, man.
Man, these niggas, I mean, woof.
Yes or no?
Wait a minute.
Yes or no?
It was that
yes
kind of knife.
No?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
Well, what kind of knife was
That's the lie being told.
No.
It was not no butcher knife, no kitchen knife. It wasn't.
Okay, it was not a butcher knife. It was not a kitchen.
Was it a combat knife? What kind of
Swiss Army knife?
I think a plastic knife is probably the only acceptable one that we can have.
I think maybe a Swiss Army knife. I think a Swiss Army knife might be exempt. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I don't know.
It'll be like I think that might. I guess you could file a butter knife down there. But a Swiss Army knife would be kind of like a tool, I guess, right? Maybe.
Right.
I wish CKJ3 was here to hear this shit. Where is CKJ3?
CKJ, he in the rafters right now.
Stanley, you be a proxy for CKJ3. Will you be a proxy for CKJ3? And so next time you see this nigga, I want you to play this clip for him.
No buck knife. It wasn't that kind of knife.
But no buck knife. Ooh, man, these niggas down in the weeds.
Yes or no?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
Well, what kind of knife was
That's the lie being told.
No.
It was not no butcher knife, no kitchen knife. It wasn't no buck knife. It wasn't that kind of knife.
What kind of knife was it?
See, I'm going to be quiet right now. It's going to come out.
Oh,
those knives that he used were the same ones they used to help put them tents up.
Okay, so he was armed with a knife.
Everybody.
Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
They used to help put them tents up.
Okay, so he said use a tent stake. Niggas say use tent stakes. Tent stakes. That's what he stabbed.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Does it really fucking matter? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You use the edged object to stab and kill somebody. I don't know. I really don't understand why people are arguing this knife thing.
Would that be better or worse? I guess he could say, "Well, I didn't bring it. I just pulled one of these motherfuckers up out the ground."
Yeah, that would make it better, I think, legally, if he didn't bring it. But I mean, all the reports are saying he pulled it out of his bag, so I don't even think it would really matter if you pulled it out your bag. I could see if you pulled it off of the ground.
Well, while he was getting beaten. Like, I don't think you could go run and get it and then come back to the fight and stab somebody. Right?
Yeah.
You know, you can't go get a weapon and come back and start a fight again. You know, that's when the fight would end. Once you got the weapon, you know, once you broke loose, the fight's over. You go get a weapon, and then you're going to re-engage the fight, I would assume, right? Because the person probably going to take off running. You see you coming back with a spike. But this is the personal logic that they're twisting themselves into here.
Okay, so he was armed with a knife.
Everybody, a lot of kids had those knives putting those tents up. It's a custom knife that they put those tents up. He didn't bring no weapon like that.
Are you allowed to carry a knife at school?
Charles, it was not that type of weapon.
Okay, was it a knife
at all,
or not?
Charles? It was something that they used to help erect tents.
Okay, who told you that?
All of them. Let me say this to you, Charles. I'm not going to get too deep into that.
I get
point,
that. Had Carmelo been in trouble before for carrying a weapon at school?
I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about it. Okay, so we can agree, though, that it is in fact a violation of policy to have a deadly weapon at a track meet. Yes
Charles,
or no? Yes or no? Can we agree to that?
He didn't bring that type of weapon.
Okay.
He did not.
Did he have a weapon hidden in his backpack?
He used a weapon to defend himself,
Did he
Charles.
open up his backpack?
He used a weapon to defend himself.
I dare you to touch me.
No, Charles.
Well, so
he had a right to do that.
Oh, well, really?
He wasn't wrong.
Really?
If you in my face threaten to do bodily harm to me, if you threaten me over and over to do bodily harm to me, and then you punch me in my face, because he got a right to use whatever force necessary to stop that attack.
So the boy was punched in the face. I didn't. Damn, boy, he got more deep than me.
We're getting a lot more information here than we've had. Man, I don't know.
Man, it's fucking amazing, bro. Like they can twist their logic up, you know.
Do either of you think that there's any video out there of this incident?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's video. I think there's probably video from the students. There's probably like video at the track meet. They probably got security. I think what it is just, you know, it is Texas. So I don't think Texas is one of those states that really gives a fuck about public pressure. They're gonna wait. And they're gonna, you know, do it the right way. So
why do you think none of the kids have leaked this shit?
I think honestly, I've been thinking about that too. Honestly, I think it's because of where the students are. If this was some hood ass school, that shit would have been leaked the same day. But I think because of the type of kids that this is, you know, I don't think any of them, I think those kids are probably smart enough not to, you know, involve themselves in it social media wise. I think those kids probably just gave it to the police and they're not going to leak it. You know, they probably were advised not to put anything out. And I think that's really what it is. They're just going to let the judicial system figure this out. I did post something in the back, John. One of your boys, he has taken a stand on this situation. Click the link in the back. Your boy took a stand.
Let's see who. Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. You know, I saw him speaking about this, bro. And he was like, he don't give a shit if it ruined his career or not. He gonna speak out about it, like freedom of speech. Aiden Ross gave $10,000 to Metcalf. There it is, right there. Yo, that was ballsy from him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because he didn't even think he should have gotten bail. Yeah, I was listening to academics talking about like, yo, bail. You know, he should have gotten bail. I agree with the bail. But damn, yeah, he stepped out on a limb there, giving $10,000, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I just think it's is very politicized right now. People are feeling a certain way about it, and everybody is letting their voice be heard about it, whether they're for it or against it or whatever. So, you know, I think in history, Aiden might right now people may be mad at him, but I think in history, Aiden's probably gonna be on the right side of history.
Yeah, he's a big stream. HB, I like to ask you about the rap stuff. You been hearing about Waka Flocka and DDG?
I saw something about it. I haven't heard too much about it though. I heard Waka Flocka's been kind of pressing DDG about something. I don't know what it is though.
Yo, he was over in Paris or somewhere, man, with a dress on and a purse.
Who, DDG?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. That money drying up.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, once niggas put that dress on, man, it's like, yeah, they don't got nothing else to. They don't got no other options at that point.
Look at him with the dress. With the dress, HB. Let's see if I get. Look at this. Look at this first. This seems weird to me, HB. I don't know if I can blow it up. I can't blow it up any bigger than this.
Who you listen to more, me or Walker? Me. Hey Walker, quit speaking on me, bro. That shit lame. Shit hella lame. Niggas respect you. I expect the same respect. I'm a grown ass man. I'm trying to little brother.
Are you trying to get it?
Should I put it at? Should I let it hang?
Let me see. I would say put it all up. Wait, let me see. No, let it hang, let it hang.
I just found it would be weird. He walking around.
What are those? Are those suspenders?
No, I think they're like overalls.
Oh, okay.
And on one hand, he said, "I'm a grown ass man," and then on this hand, he's like, "How should I wear my suspenders?" It just seemed kind of weak to me, like.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I don't really listen to DDG too much. He's a little stupid. He's a little too stupid for me, man. But yeah.
Here's something good. Here's something good for you right here, HB. Check this out. You remember that lady that went and got herself strangled on a conjugal visit at prison?
No.
You remember that? Did we talk about that here? She went to go see her boyfriend, her husband, whatever, in prison, a little conjugal visit.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Oh yeah.
And he choked her ass out, right?
Yeah, didn't he kill her or no?
Choked her ass out.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, so here's another one. Woman went on a conjugal visit, and he killed her too. With her prison lover who killed 4. Now she's dead. And so the family of grandmother Stephanie Dowles, the second woman to be choked to death last year during a conjugal visit at the same California prison, claims authorities are covering up details of her homicide. What they're going to say here, HB, is the nigga that was in prison put insurance on her head and or convince her to make him the beneficiary, then he killed her ass.
Wow.
The 62-year-old hairdresser was strangled at Mule Creek State Prison last November during a visit with her husband, who is serving life without parole for 4 murders. Now her grieving family suspects a cover-up as they seek justice and are desperate to know why better precautions were not in place to keep their beloved safe. The gruesome tragedy occurred just weeks after Dowles maid Brinson, that's the man who killed her, who attempted. So she made him the sole beneficiary of her $275,000 life insurance policy. And there was that. And this was the second woman to be killed during a mule at the Mule Creek. And here's the lady right here.
Ah, damn.
They got killed in prison.
Wow. Wow, it's kind of funny that the family is mad at the prison, but not mad at her for being with a guy that killed 4 people. Like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was her family member, it might be a little insensitive, but I'd probably tell her, hey, you got what you got what you asked for. You dealing with a man that got 4 bodies.
4 bodies, bro. He done dropped. This is the 5th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not alleged. He really got 5 bodies.
One for the thumb, HB. One for the thumb.
Yeah. And you couldn't find no nigga, nobody working at UPS you could have been dating.
It's actually a nice picture right here.
Yeah, no, she's beautiful, especially for a woman in her 60s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice picture right there. Nice hair.
Yeah, that's all her hair too. She ain't even know, she ain't got no weave. Got
Damn,
all
what's
her.
that? Damn, they let him stay overnight. Grandbaby.
Oh man. Damn, she looked like she in shape too a little bit.
Yeah, it says she's in good physical shape. She ran the Long Beach half marathon the month before her death. And she had all this shit going. You gonna get with a fucking prisoner?
Yeah. That's like that's why, that be brave 70% shit, man. You look at stuff like this, like the criminals, I can't really like criminals gonna be criminals, but then when you got women like this who obviously are educated, smart, got something going on, but then you see them dating a goddamn murderer in prison.
Yo, that's not weird or what?
There is some kind of psychosis going there. Like how do you run a marathon one weekend and then go to a state prison the next? It doesn't
And,
make
bro,
any sense.
and why would you make him your beneficiary, bro? Like he gonna spend the rest of his life in prison.
Right.
Right? Like shit. You know, what is he gonna have $275,000 on his books?
Yeah.
I don't know, just fucking weird, man. Fucking weird. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, he can't even spend that money. You think that insurance is gonna pay out that? Like that
Well,
nigga is so nigga he didn't even think it through. You can't kill somebody and get the money if you're the beneficiary. Like that insurance ain't gonna pay out that.
Hell no. But you know what's interesting, even more interesting, is that she took, what would have been to her children and grandchildren, made him the beneficiary. That's even more weird, bro. Like, what kind of woman would do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that. Boy, must have been slinging the dick to her.
Something, man.
Jesus Christ, like, fucking amazing, fucking amazing. Oh man, I knew you got an interview coming up. HB, what else you want to talk about before we get out of here today?
I don't really have too much more. Trying to think. Yeah, nah. It's been kind of a slow weekend for the most part for me anyway.
Yeah, I ain't been up to much. Myself, I talked about a little crazy case we had around the corner. Dude crashed out, and I guess he burst into he was tracking his girlfriend, burst into her apartment, stabbed both of them, got in his car and went out to where he lived, and made the police kill him. You know what I mean? All over a woman, bro. Like, sometimes you just gotta let them go, bro. Sometimes,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Is that simping gene is really dominant in black men, man. They will completely crash out over a woman.
yeah, you gotta let them go, man. Jason Kessler's been tweeting some interesting stuff about marriage statistics and stuff like that. He
What's he
thinks
talking about?
He basically saying, I'll put the tweet up on the screen. He retweeted this. It's one of those things. Here it is. So he's saying that the guys who are visible. Oh damn, I'm not sharing the screen. I thought I'm sharing it. Oh no, I'm not sharing. Okay, here it is. All right. The guys who are visible to women don't stick around to raise their kids. The illegitimacy rates prove that women can't make good judgment calls. And he's showing the non-marital birth rates in the United States from 40 to 2014. Clearly that would have been some, change in women's rights, on this peak here. And so he's saying all races, all groups, the non-marital birth rates has increased considerably, And so he goes on to add his own little commentary. to this, where he says, this is just telling the few single race realist women out there I have interacted with usually have a radical feminist orientation. They act very masculine and neurotic with all these weird conditions and hoops they want you to jump through, like all attractive white men. So I think this dating thing is really an issue that really goes across races. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this chart proves it out. That it's not just black men. Black men may have it more acute. But I think, everybody's having problems with dating, and you hear it all the time.
Yeah. I just think honestly at this point there's really no solutions. Honestly, like I don't think you could really pour the wine back in the bottle with this shit. So I don't even know what the solution really would be. Obviously I do think it's better to be married and have kids, but at the same time, it there really is no benefit, you know, like on the men's side if the woman isn't cooperating, and it can really it just hurts the kids at the end of the day. So I don't know. I don't know who you can really. I don't think that you could really blame the women either, though. I don't. Jason Kessler saying that women are having they just don't know how to pick guys, and obviously we just played that last video, so that kind of goes to his point. But I mean, that woman's in her 60s. She's not even really on the market for having kids anymore. She's done. So she want to spend her last days fucking an inmate. That's on her. But there was that statistic too that this is the first time in I think recorded history more women are having kids in their 40s than they are in their teens.
Yeah, that's very weird right there.
That they said the first time in recorded history that's ever happened. Like that's something is going on. I don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, I kind of get it though too. Women just have so many more opportunities. It's kind of hard to tell a woman, hey, you need to have a kid at 18 and forego, being educated and getting your life together. When women can, with all the surgeries and the drugs, women can have kids at 50 nowadays.
Yeah. HB, I haven't been to the doctor in eons, bro. But this is I guess you're registering on the for the doctors at a hospital in the UK. Look at this shit, bro.
Man, I can't pronounce one of those doctors' names. That's crazy. Is one of these doctors that nigga you interviewed, the Alibaba guy? Is he a doctor?
Man, that's a hell of a list. That's a hell of a list, huh?
Damn, man.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, bro. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, man, I gotta get ready to get out of here, HB. We've been going about 3 hours out. Oh, this is 2.5 hours. Yeah, I may get back on a little bit later, HB. I'll let you get ready for your interview.
I appreciate that, John, man. To the chat, you guys hit the like button. I appreciate you guys watching the morning roast with us. And yeah, John, man, appreciate you as always. Yeah, this was definitely a good show. Definitely a good show.
HB, what you might would do what's a monologue at the beginning or what's the ending? Or ending monologue. You want to do an ending monologue?
I'll do a little outro.
I'm out here.
All right then, John. Salute to John Galt. Salute to Universal Jones. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We got Troll in the chat. Mr. Stanley Cross. My nigga Slick Rick in the building. Darth Nationalist in the building. Genesee Ben. Dolomite. I fucks with Dolomite, man. Good brother. Yeah, we are definitely heading in some interesting times, you guys. I don't know where this society is going with AI and robots and algorithms pretty much controlling this whole United States, and I don't know where this country is going, but one thing I do know is you can't give up. The fight always continues. And you know, one thing I can say is don't ever lose faith, because this whole society is going somewhere very different. I think we're in the early stages of a shift in society. You know how they always talk about those poles are shifting. Well, society is shifting. You know, with AI taking up all these jobs and robots replacing people, and then we're pretty much looking at the infancy of the white civil rights act, the white civil rights movement. I never thought I would see some shit like this. A white civil rights movement, man. What the fuck? We're living in some different times right now, man. This is a different America than what I grew up in. So, you know, all I can really say is, you guys keep your faith, whatever that is, however that looks to you. Just keep something that can keep you grounded, because this world is looking crazy right now. I don't know what the hell is going on. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys. Innate Ways, salute, salute, salute. As always, man, you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and if you appreciated this morning roast with your host HB2N, hit the Cash App, you guys. We definitely appreciate you. But as always, oh, there goes Mike from Boston. As always, God bless America. God bless the chat. I'm out of here, you guys. I'm gonna end it on a song. So there we go.
Sorry that I got fat ass lips, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Sorry that I got fat ass lips, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Sorry that I got fat ass lips, nigga. Like, what the fuck?
This nigga has the motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast forward. I am the nigga, Young Galt. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk.
Can't talk.
Golden era baby,
but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme.
Popping them bottles, throwing money, living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat.
Back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Block used to be jumping, type shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone. I am the nigga, Young Galt. I bring it to you rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine.
Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene.
Even dancing in the rain.
Now they nodding off.
Shit just don't hit the same.
I am the nigga, Young Galt.